What do you think did not work out in Carolina that you thought was going to work out? What was it?
Yeah, I just think, and I understand why. I just think that I was hired to do a 4-year kind of a plan. And so I'm a guy that historically, in the third year has won. We kind of knew going in, and as I talked to the people there, hey, it might take a little longer just because of, kind of where we were, kind of the end of an era and some great players retiring and moving on. And, to me, if you tell me, hey, I need you to do it in 2 years, then I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to, sign some more free agents. We're going to do some different things. If you ask me to do it in 4 years, and then we're going to build through the draft. And I really like the team. I think, when they've played well on offense and scored points, they've won like they did this past week. It's great to see Sam Darnold go out there and play well. But I think you look at the future of that team. I think it's Derek Brown, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, J.C. Horn. We were building it to, no huge free agent signings, no blockbuster trades to try to get to next year and, try to hopefully win this year, get to next year, and maybe make a big move or two and be a power team in the league. And so I think Scott Fitterer, the GM's done a great job. I mean, they're still in contention in the NFC South. They're 3-1 in the NFC South, and that was my job to try to help build a team that could win the NFC South. The mistake I made, Rich, is we just didn't win enough. You have to win enough in years 2 and 3 to be able to stay. I would have loved to stick around longer. I was 1-4, kind of like Ron Rivera was, and I would have loved to stick around longer. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm in a really good place, and I'm grateful to Carolina.
Do you think if you could wave a wand, have a mulligan, would you have drafted a quarterback instead? In your chance?
Yeah, no, because there was really no one that, I shouldn't say that. Justin Fields is playing really well, and Mac Jones is someone that I have a lot of respect for. But, sometimes articles come out after you get fired and say, oh, hey, why didn't you guys get Justin Herbert? Well, because he got drafted in front of us. And, I wasn't the GM. I didn't make the picks. I had a lot of input. I worked with 2 great guys in Marty Hurney and Scott Fitterer. But I think when you look at the 3 first-round draft picks that we had, Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, and Ike Ekwonu. I think they're all future Pro Bowlers. So, there's some really good quarterbacks that went before us. Would have loved to have one of those guys, but they weren't there. And Mac is a really good player for New England. Justin's running wild right now. So you can maybe look back at those. But I love the guys that we drafted. And I just think in time they're going to be great NFL players.
Now that you've been through the NFL as a head coach, Matt Rhule, and you're back in college where you had obviously the successful years at Temple and then Baylor as well, there's just a nonstop conversation that's been going on for quite some time about the difference at coaching on the 2 levels. What is your opinion of it now about the difference of coaching on the 2 levels?
Yeah, there's less. I don't think there's a big difference in the coaching. I think there's far more moving pieces in the NFL. In college here, kind of I set the vision. Everyone goes and executes it. I have a hand in the recruiting. I have a hand in kind of, hey, the operation. Here's how we're going to do things. Really in the National Football League, there's lots of really great people that all have their role. You have a GM who's got to put together the roster. You have an owner, and every owner is different, who has to approve things. You have a coach who's got to handle things on the field. And so the actual coaching, players are players, especially nowadays. You get kids in college, man, they're really savvy. Players love being coached by guys who know what they're doing. I just think it's all the other pieces of it. It's all the people, the moving parts in the NFL that have to come together for you to have success.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.